All right, jump right into it. So today is the week enablement weekend review. So if you have anything interesting, noteworthy to add to the doc, please feel free to do so. Coincidentally, happens every week on Thursday, so probably remind folks every week. Like the note that Grant just put in about pre-Puma running nightly would be pretty awesome to share with the others that read this doc. See, on to the next. So there was some questions, comments about how our new continuous delivery, what are the dates on continuous delivery? And the folks that rolled it out admitted the communication wasn't great. So I just put it here so everybody knows what the major dates are in the new continuous delivery timeline. So you can all take a look. Basically 23rd milestone starts, and then every week we have a deployment, and then 22nd is a release date. So Camille is out the week of the 5th, and during that time, well, up until that time, Alexi is going to shadow Camille with all the Puma work that he's doing, including testing, framework, everything, so that we can continue that momentum with our goal of getting Puma out to production. During that time, we'll have to figure out what work to offload from Alexi, because he had a bunch of sidekick work scheduled for 12/2, and that's the likely candidate to move over to Chinyu, who, if he's watching this recording, will be surprised at that because I haven't talked to him about it yet. So we didn't talk specifics. We talked about Alexi shadowing Camille. Yep. We'll review what makes the most sense to offset over the next week. All right. And Camille, you are the next topic.
It's more like a like sentence. I don't think that we have to discuss that. It's more like, please read that, look at the graphs if you find anything interesting. I'm gonna be creating a bunch of the issues about like devgitlab.org validation. And I think that we're gonna like kind of follow up on that pretty much, nothing else. So far, like from my perspective, it seems that everything works as it should be. No surprises there. We didn't have to revert the configuration change. Yesterday we had some like very big network usage pattern, but it turns out like we were building a ton of GitLab patches that was basically like generating 200 megabytes per second each direction for 10 consecutive hours. That's it. Craig.
So we are, as an engineering org, we are measured on throughput. And I don't know how many folks have seen like the individual dashboard that we have for the memory team. Some data not there because we haven't been a team for a super long time. So weekly throughput's looking great. The color is based on the labels that we apply to the MRs that go through. And I check this weekly to look for any undefined labels. If they are undefined, then I'll go and figure out. Typically, our team is going to be working on bugs and backstage, but it could also be feature and performance are some of the labels. So I go through and look at them on a weekly basis, and then they graph. And as an engineering org, we have a goal to get to, I think it's 10 MRs per author per month, and we are not quite there yet. We are, I think we're in the 8 to 9 range. As a team, doing pretty well. Obvious growth since we're coming together as a team. So all of our charts look good. Just something for everybody to take a look at. This is more of an FYI. So with that, encouraging folks to have smaller MRs. As I said, we keep on throughput. Questions on that? All right, Tanya.
Cool. Yeah, mine's just a quick announcement that we had a test automation engineer accept an offer. She'll start August 19th, and she's in Russia, but she currently is working US hours, even though she's in Russia. She took our interview at 2 a.m. her time. I'm not sure if that's how she'll continue to work. I told her it wasn't expected, so I guess to be determined what time zone she works in, not really based on where she lives. So, yeah.
Okay, Grant.
Yep. So just a few quick updates for memory. I updated the test epic. I wanted to give it a bit more. Before it was just a bit more vague. I wanted to give it actual real deliverables. So I've updated that now. Please have a look and let me know if you think I'm missing anything or if you think it will be good enough. The idea is to also make it so that this would be completed when to complete this, we would say Puma is validated in terms of the switchover from Unicorn, and that is working as expected. So please have a look at that. My focus has just been continuously improving the performance framework with help from Camille, and just trying to make it as easy as possible to run for people on their own environments, as well as for automation. We particularly were looking at project import for importing data to make it as easy as possible. But previously we were importing from GitHub, which took hours. Camille thought it would be better to import just through like a tarball. That also took actually longer. and then with Camille's help, he actually went off and fixed it, and he cut it from like 4 hours to like 12 minutes last I checked. So it's a massive gain. So with that now, it means that people can just hopefully only have to run a few simple commands, and they can start load testing their own specific checkouts. So if you've got Puma running in a custom branch, for example, this should hopefully be as easy as possible.
I'm curious, what was the biggest fix that caused the most increase on improvement?
I'll let Camille answer.
I'm gonna link you to the merge request. It's described there in the merge request what is actually fixed.
Oh yeah, I'll put a link to that.
Awesome.
The next update was just one of the deliverables for the test plan was definitely getting the performance framework running against pre-Puma. So that's running now nightly. If you go to the QA performance channel from tomorrow, you should start to see the results coming through there. As I say on the document, currently we're testing at 20 responses per second. That seems to be not optimal for those environments. They seem to come back with quite slow response time, so I'm assuming I'm pushing it too much. So the next step is just me going off and trying to figure out what is this environment actually able to handle, and tune the tests accordingly. But for now, there is at least something happening with them. And the last bit is just trying to make sure that the monitoring is up to scratch. I'm still in discussion with infrastructure on how best to do it and pull in not only like the big environments I have, but like the 10K environment and stuff into one place that we can start pointing people towards to say, look, this is where you go. There's kind of deciding how best to let quality do it. They don't want non-production data on a production dashboards site, so they're still trying to figure out. So I'm still talking with them, but at the moment there is a dashboard on there that at least should show pre. Camille says there's actually pre-Puma as well on there. I thought it wasn't, so I want to speak to him after and see this, so I can add quickly. And that's it for me.
Awesome. Okay. Chun is working on an on-call rotation. One of the suggestions that somebody made was look into volunteers for on-call instead of making every engineer in the on-call rotation. So this is still very much work in progress. Everybody take a look at the link that I put there and add your name if it makes sense, or if you want to volunteer for on-call. The problem we're trying to solve is there's very few people that get pinged for on-call support right now because we don't have like a formal or official on-call rotation. So typically it falls to people like Stan and Camille and a very small set of folks when something goes wrong to go and support the product. So we're trying to bring in an on-call rotation to spread the wealth, and actually it'll help spread the knowledge too. So take a look, add your name if you want to volunteer. This is just a survey at this point in time. It's not sure if we're going to go with volunteer. More likely we'll go with assigned on-call rotation, and the details can be found in there or in a related issue. Any questions on that? Cool. All right, fast boot. I'm going to try and finalize proposal today. I think we have most of the information. What I'm seeing from the budget is either if we go to Aberdeen or if we go to Warsaw, the budget is within, I think, $500 or $600. So I'll just go with a general proposal and not pick a location yet. Take a look at the issue itself. There's a grid for availability, so we can kind of zero in on the time. I have put in slots to budget for the new test person, Does that person have a name, Tanya, so we can stop calling them the new test person hire?
I don't want to say it since we're recording.
Okay, new person.
Yeah.
And
new
then
person.
for the memory team, I budgeted for the 2 new hires, and actually another announcement, we were just given a 3rd hire. So we have 3 vacancies for the memory team. One of the front end teams decided they didn't need a candidate, they could share with another team. So that headcount was allocated to us, and we're still talking to a couple of internal candidates. We have, I guess, moving on to the hiring update. And we have a pretty decent pipeline of folks that applied. Ecosystem is close to closing out their hires, so they're redirecting a lot of their interviews over to us right now. So that's it for me. Any questions, comments? Anything else we need to cover? All right, I will take that as a no. And everybody, hope you have a good rest of your day.
Yeah.